Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Very quickly want to look at something in Power BI. A couple of times I've had people ask how can they get data from SharePoint. SharePoint is one of the data sources that Power BI has a connector to, and by connector it means that you would be able to get your data from SharePoint, pull it into your Power BI desktop, and build a report on top of that. So in this demo, I will show us how to do that, what to pay attention to, and what's not. This is my Power BI desktop, so I have this opened. But before I go into this, just want to quickly show us what the SharePoint folder looks like. So here I'm going to open the SharePoint site, and once I get into the site, I have a particular SharePoint list which I want to pull the data in from. So a situation where you would want to do this is, for instance, you have built your app and you're using SharePoint as a data source. And by building your app, I mean you have a Power Apps, for instance, that is writing data into SharePoint list, and you want to visualize that data right within your Power BI desktop. Although SharePoint has a direct integration to Power BI in a way, which means if from this particular list, you could have it populated, you have a lot of records here already, so you can come here to integrate, you come here to Power BI and you say visualize this list. So if you follow this route, this will open a new tab on your browser which takes you directly to Power BI service. And what happens is Power BI tries to build a report for you, generate a report for you on top of that data. Yes, this is very much editable, but you might have some restriction as to what is obtainable. So you may not be able to write some DAX and stuff. You may not be able to build a model and do a lot of things. So this is a report that's been built by default on top of that data. But you can actually edit this. So if I come here to edit and I say continue, so I'll be able to edit. I can add more pages, I can add some visuals, and I can pick some things right from here and add to that particular visual. So this is editable, but you wouldn't have some experience, you wouldn't have some flexibility as you would if you were to build this on the Power BI desktop. So let's see how we can connect our Power BI desktop to this. So first off is to come to get data, and I'll come to more. All right, so this is here. So I can just filter to online services and I'll select SharePoint Online List. Then I'll click on connect. So when I click on connect, so this is asking for the site URL. So this is where it gets tricky. So if I switch back to my SharePoint list and I try to go here to the URL. So if you look at the URL, what you will observe is that the URL has, so I'm just trying to see if I can make things slightly bigger. So the URL has the SharePoint site itself, dbrandconsulting.net, the SharePoint.com. Now you see /site/Power Apps. So Power Apps, that is the site name, and that is exactly what you would need. So everything after the Power Apps, which the /, you don't need them. So if for chance you're copying the entire URL, be sure that that will not work for you. So what you need to copy is to get to the site, and just what is after the site, what is after the /, which is next to the site. That's how you need to copy, which means you're copying up to the site name itself. So copy that out, and then I'll go to my Power BI desktop, and here I'll paste that as the site URL. Then I'll click on OK. So all things being equal, this would open up the navigator and then would ask me to select what I want to connect to from the list that are available on the site. So this is loading up all the list available, and now I can scroll down to my employee check-in, and of course you get a preview for which you can go on to transform your data, because obviously if we look at what we have, so here we only have about 7 columns, but on the Power BI desktop, on the Power BI navigator, you see that we have much more than that. So what happens is, from the SharePoint, there are a couple of hidden columns here that are created by default. So if I come here to the title, click on the drop down, and I come to column setting, and I say show or hide columns, you'll see that we have a lot of columns that are actually hidden. So all these columns were created by default, and that's why we have a lot of those appear on as part of our data, but we can see that on the front end of the SharePoint. So you can go on to transform data, remove what you don't need, and you get your data back to Power BI. I hope this is helpful. I'll see you in another video.